welcome back and welcome to Vlogmas Day 12. I checked the date before I started filming so I didn't have to go, what day is it? Day 12. Today I wanted to talk to you about some of the autobiography or celebrity memoirs that I have read, or more specifically autobiography celebrity memoirs that I have listened to, because I find that I really enjoy when somebody has an autobiography or a memoir out. I really like to listen to the audiobook of it, because generally that means that you get the actual author reading it to you, and I think that that is like the person writing it is just sitting down, telling you about stories from their life, having a little chat with you, having a laugh with you, and it makes it a whole different reading experience. I do appreciate that if you buy the actual hard copy of the book, that you get things like pictures and you're able to see things that they're talking about rather than having to just hear about them. But I still have a preference for listening to a memoir or an autobiography on audiobook. The reason I sort of wanted to film this video was because I listened to two memoirs back to back. I listened to Amy Schumer's The Girl with the Lower Back Tattoo, and then I listened to Where Am I Now by Mara Wilson, and both of those I talked in a previous video about getting slightly confused about whose story was who, but I really enjoyed both of those, and I feel like it gave me an insight into kind of both of their personalities and both of their lives, and I appreciate that that they could be highly edited, but I still feel like I, got a little bit more insight by reading those books. Other celebrity memoirs, autobiographies that I have enjoyed listening to on audiobook. I listened to Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. Again, that was just a hilarious experience and something that I would definitely re-listen to. I know that I think my mum would quite like to listen to that one, and so it might be something that we listen to together. The same goes for Yes Please by Amy Poehler. Obviously these books kind of followed each other in me buying them, but they were both really interesting and both really made me laugh. Another book which made me laugh, which kind of I didn't expect it to, was Not That Kind of Girl by Lena Dunham. I listened to that, and that again has her reading it out, and so it feels like when you're in the car listening to it or when you're at home listening to it, she's just there telling you stories about her life, and really personal and interesting stories. I feel like these particular authors really sort of didn't hold back, and they are quite candid with you. I enjoyed listening to Wildflower by Drew Barrymore. Now, she doesn't kind of call this an autobiography. Again, it's a collection of stories, and she's got some poems in there, and it's not chronological, but it's really interesting to hear those little snippets from her life and see things from her perspective. I also listened to May I Have Your Attention Please by James Corden. That was one of the first ones that I kind of downloaded on Audible and listened to him reading it, and it was really cool because a lot of the places that he was talking about back in the UK were round about where I was living, and as I was sort of driving around and listening, I was like, oh, I've just passed there, which was quite interesting. And again, he's very candid and very personal, and I hope that he's going to do some sort of follow-up since he's found his kind of fame over here in America and kind of made it in Los Angeles, and hosting the Grammys and everything. So I really hope that he does another follow-up, because that was a really enjoyable listen. I'm a big James Corden fan, and I always have been since he was in Hollyoaks, so there we go. And finally, a sort of very British one, but I listened to both The Fry Chronicles and More Fool Me by Stephen Fry. Obviously they came out quite a distance apart, and so it was nice to kind of have More Fool Me as a kind of follow-up later on. And I went also to the cinema thing that he did, where he stood and he told some of the stories from More Fool Me on a stage in London, and then it was broadcast to various cinemas around the world, and I really enjoyed that other aspect of it, as well as the fact that he was sitting there talking to me, again very open, very honest, very candid, candid. You feel like you got a lot of his life story in there and his true opinions on things. And again, he was talking about people and places that I knew about, and so that was like brought it home and made it more familiar to me. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, my kind of favourite memoirs and autobiographies and how I like to read them. I like to read them by listening to them, and I would highly recommend, if you've never listened to an autobiography or a set of sort of stories and memoirs, that you either download one or get one from the library and listen to it that way. And I think it'll give you a new perspective on whatever person it is that's written that autobiography or those sort of stories from their life. Okay, I will have another video for you tomorrow. I think it's probably going to be a Top 10 Tuesday. Not the same as the one that's on my blog this week though. Very exciting. Hope you're having a great day. See you tomorrow.